Good morning, my friends. Happy Tuesday. Yeah, quick weather report. Yes, it is warm and sunny in San Diego. Little too warm sometimes. But more importantly, that was my fortifying brain tea this morning for today's talk, which is massive. I love being controversial. And this one will probably have got a lot of you going, what the hell? She's nuts. And in a way, I am nuts because I'm definitely flowing against what most people are telling you. But I'll give you a good reason for that. I will explain completely. That is, once I've told you a little bit about who I am. So who am I? I am Andrea Kuchin. And I am part of PhD in Follow-Up with my amazingly wonderful business partner, Robert Rosenthal. This show is our home biz tips. See there? Home biz tips. And our purpose here is to provide home business owners, and this was pre-COVID, so there's a lot more people working from home now, I understand, to provide them with inspiration, ideas, tools, strategies, anything that will help them build their business better and be more successful, right? And that's what we've been doing here on air for the last 2 years, I believe, and previously, generally out in the world for in total 10 years. So if you want to find out more about what I do, you can find me here, phdinfollowup.com/Andrea Kuchin. That's phdinfollowup.com. PhD in Follow-Up is the main website. My email address is andrea@phdinfollowup.com. And you can always text or call me on 858-252-1190. 858-252-1190. So let's get stuck into this. Mindset. Mindset is very important. Mindset has, over the last couple of years, become even more important. There are hundreds, possibly even thousands of mindset coaches who will help you overcome your obstacles and your challenges to build a better business, more successfully, reach more people. We all want you to reach more people because you're in business for a reason. And if you're running your own business, if you're an entrepreneur, the chances are you have some deep calling, some deep inner desire to help people. And we need that. We need you all out there helping people, right? So anything I can do to help you help other people is what my mission is all about, okay? So my purpose in life is to help business owners face their challenges and get the job done, whatever the job is that they've decided they want to do. Whatever it is that is your calling is what you should be doing. So if you're not, wake up and start doing it. Now, what stops us is our belief that we're not good enough, that we can't be successful, the feelings that we get of inadequacy because we've tried things before that didn't work, or because we let our fear get the better of us, We don't want to be rejected. We worry that we won't have enough clients, that we won't be able to make enough money, that we won't be able to provide for our families, that the people that we're helping won't really be helped, that they'll abandon us, all sorts of things. And that's what's going on in our minds. And that's why mindset has become such a big issue. But I don't think it matters. I don't think your mindset matters. I think a negative mindset, a wrong mindset, a bad mindset are great excuses to not succeed. Why am I saying that? Okay, I'll take a moment out here. I don't know if you figured this out yet. When I figured it out, it was a massive revelation to me. And that is that you'll find most coaches are teaching a lesson that they learned themselves, right? Most coaches are sharing their own experience with you, which is really why coaching certificates and stuff like that aren't really relevant, in my view. Okay, it shows that you can impart information to somebody, but your own story, your own success that you created yourself is much more valid to me. In other words, if I meet a weight loss guru who has been on an amazing weight loss journey, that's of far more value to me than some skinny person who just decided to become a weight loss coach, because they don't understand the pain associated with the problem that they're trying to help you solve. So I would always go to a coach who has resolved something in their own life to get help, rather than somebody who's just got some kind of qualification for coaching, which is valid in a, in a place. After all, we want our schools full of qualified school teachers, not just people who think they can do maths or whatever it is. But I think that the part of somebody's experience is really, 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 really valid. So find somebody who's got a story to tell that you resonate with. Find somebody who's teaching something that you believe you need, who has gone through those things, not somebody who's just following everybody else's teaching. A lot of coaches teach people to coach, and then they were great because it was their story. But then when the people that they coached become coaches, they don't have a story of their own. They're still using their teacher's story. Anyway, that's a bit of a digression. The point is, it's about mindset today. And I'm telling you that your mindset doesn't matter, because I have seen often, including in my own life, that I have used the I'm not in the right frame of mind thing as an excuse. Well, really, probably for decades, if I actually analyzed everything. But I'm not going to, because what's that going to do? That's going to send me down an ever-decreasing circle of, why did I waste all those years? Why did I not motivate myself? Why this and why that and why the other? And what's that going to do to my head? It's going to make the mindset issue even bigger. And we're about making problems smaller, not making them bigger. Right. So your mindset is simply the state of mind that you're in at the moment, because the only thing that you can hold in your mind is what you're thinking about right now, right? So at the moment, you're possibly thinking, wow, that pink lipstick's really bright. I wonder if those are real pearls. Or what's that behind her? Or I wonder where she got her experience from, or something. Or You might actually be listening to everything that I'm saying. And what are you not doing? Hopefully, thinking about a million other things. Now, some of us can have 2 or 3 thoughts at the same time. For example, I am hearing my voice speak, and I'm also thinking about what I'm going to say next. And then part of me is also thinking, did I say that right? Is that what I meant to say? But I'm still focused in the moment on what I am doing. I am not focused on how I am feeling. I'm not thinking about my mindset. Why? Because I'm in action mode. I am doing something. And what happens to me when I do stuff is, first of all, I focus on what I'm doing, which is great, because then how bad I'm feeling is irrelevant. And I'm doing something. And when I do something, at least I can check it off a list and pat myself on the back because I did it. And that's a good thing, because being patted on the back and scratching things off to-do lists makes me feel good. See what happened there? I changed my mindset because I did something. Now, a couple of years ago, I committed to being here on a Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock my time. I spent several weeks in Europe last summer where 11 o'clock in the morning was not 11 o'clock in the morning anymore. That's my little puppy. Well, she's not a puppy anymore, but she feels and looks like a puppy. It wasn't 11 o'clock in the morning anymore, which is a relatively convenient time. It was 7 o'clock in the evening, which is not a convenient time. It's actually dinner time. Or it's cleaning up the kitchen time, or putting the kids to bed time. Well, not in my case. Point is, I was still there. I was still online in my group at 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific time, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think it would be, Eastern time, 7 o'clock in the UK, which is where I was, 8 o'clock in Germany and France. I'm not great at maths. You do the rest. Okay? It's actually very difficult to choose a time that works for the entire world, which is why, thanks to the glory of technology, things are saved and can be watched later on. Anyway, point is, I committed to do this. Do you think I wake up every Tuesday morning going, yay, I'm going to do the broadcast today? Well, you're right. No, you're not. I love doing this, but I only love doing it when I know what I'm going to talk about. And sometimes over the weekend, I'll get this amazing inspiration. I'll think, that's it. That's my subject for Tuesday. Sometimes I'm not in a place where I can write it down. So by Monday, I might have forgotten. And sometimes I go to bed on Monday night thinking, I wonder if I can get out of doing it because I have no idea what to say. Or I'll go back to my list of subjects that I was thinking would be good. And I look down the list and I can't think of anything to say on any of the headings that I've written down. Even if I wrote myself a few notes, there's just not enough stuff. The inspiration isn't there. There have even been a couple of times where I've woken up on Tuesday morning and I've thought, I have no idea. And then something happens. Somebody will call me and ask me a question, or I'll get a Facebook message from a client with a question, which will suddenly start this torrent, flow, stream of ideas. And there I am. I've got my Tuesday talk. Why does that happen? Because I'm committed. I made a commitment and I will do this live stream as long as I am able. If I happen to be on a plane and that was the only time I could get the flight, I can't do it, obviously. If my internet goes down, obviously I can't do it. But as much as I am able, as much as is possible, I will do it. Never mind how I feel. Right? That's the important thing, to take action, not to feel. Believe you me, I had years of feeling bad about all sorts of things. I was divorced. I was living alone. My belief in my ability to find somebody who'd marry me, let alone find somebody who would actually love me and be a good partner for me, I thought was non-existent. I'd also been engaged pretty much twice, once actually with a ring, once just with a promise. So my logical reasons for believing that it was not going to be possible were all there. The proof that my negative mindset needed to convince me it wasn't going to happen was all real. I could hold an argument with anybody. Not that anyone was interested in having that conversation with me, but it happened in here all the time. So what did I do? Nothing. For years, I did nothing. In fact, I repeated patterns. I attracted people into my life who were not right for me and who could not connect me to somebody who was right for me. Imagine that. Imagine how powerful that negative mindset had become. It was all I could focus on. In my non-working moments where I wasn't focused on doing something, which was usually for somebody else, because that's easy, isn't it? It's always easy to do stuff for other people. It's so much more difficult for some reason to do things for ourselves. And that's where I was for a decade and a half. And the really important thing was that I wanted a family, right? I wanted to have children. And where was I? Very late in the game, very late in the game. So I let my mindset stop me until a dear friend slapped me around the face and said, for God's sake, go and find somebody. Take responsibility for yourself and find the right person. Do something. Do something? But my mindset is all wrong. I feel so bad. Well, don't think about it, because feeling is actually, okay, my hair's sticking to me here. Feeling is actually thinking. Really and truly, there's no such thing as feeling, unless you're going to talk about physical pain. And the same rule actually applies. It's only there when you're thinking about it. Oh, my stomach hurts, or oh gosh, I'm way too hot, or oh, I feel so lacking energy, or I feel so bad. It's only a thought. Change the thought. Oh, I've got to get this done, and oh, I've got to get that done. You see what this is? These are, don't look at them actually, I'm going to give you the backs. Oh, even that's got stuff written on. These are, they're strange shape because they're cut off pieces of paper, right, from the planner that I make. I print it on a large piece of paper and then I cut the edges off and I make little books, notebooks. I've shown you all that stuff before, I'm sure. And I end up with these small pieces of paper. You see, this piece of paper is actually smaller than this piece of paper. So I've got stacks of different sizes, bits of paper. And I take a binder clip and I clip them together in a batch and I put them up by my bed. Because quite often I wake up in the middle of the night and I have a thought. And if I don't write it down immediately, I forget. So depending on how awake I'm feeling or how much of a thought I have, I've got this teeny little torch next to my bed. I'll hide so I don't wake my husband up, and I'll write little notes on that piece of paper. Or I'll just take them all to the bathroom and I'll turn the light on and I'll just start writing. Or the closet, which might be more comfortable, and I'll just write. Now, I used to have a little notebook, and then I would take the notebook downstairs, leave it on my desk, wake up in the middle of the night, no notebook. So organizing gurus will tell you to put things in a practical place for when you need them. I learned that lesson, and I came up with this idea that if there was a loop, if there were individual pieces of paper, I could take the piece of paper with me and put it on my desk. And the rest of the notebook, the note paper, would still be up by my bed. So that's what I do. So here are my notes, which I need to handle. This is exciting for me. This is stuff I need to do, right? That means because I've got stuff to do, I'm not going to have time to think. I'm not going to have time to think about how I don't feel like doing stuff because I'm doing stuff, because you can't have two thoughts at the same time, right? I have to write emails. I have to make phone calls. I have to send messages. I have to communicate with people. I have to read messages they send me. I have to write blog posts. I have to handle issues that clients have. I do not have time to think about how I feel. In other words, to create my feelingness. Don't have time. What I do have time for is to do stuff. And that's what I'm going to do. Do stuff, not think about my mindset and how my mindset is not helping me move forward in my life, because my mindset is just a thought. Now, I'm not saying don't have those thoughts, because you'll come back to me and tell me, I can't help how I think. Yep, I can identify with that. I totally identify with that, especially when you're lying awake at night trying to get to sleep, or you're trying to get back to sleep, or you're sitting in traffic, or you're taking the dog for a walk. I know. So do something in those times when your thoughts try to take over, and because they're only going to be telling you how bad you feel, they're only going to be telling you what's wrong. That's what your mind is probably doing if it's anything like mine. It's trying to remind you, you can't do this because you don't feel good. You can't go out for a walk because you don't have any energy. You can't read that book because you don't understand it. You can't invest in crypto because it's too confusing and it might go wrong. You can't get married to somebody because you've got married before. Look how that worked out. It's a choice. It's a tough choice. It's a choice you have to make 1,000 times a day. Every few seconds you have to remake that choice. Now I'm going to focus on this list. Okay, what's this? This, actually, you'll notice, is almost all complete. I've just got one little thing at the bottom that I need to do. But you know what? Looking at a list of things like that that's been scratched off, and obviously these major items, because I scratched them off significantly, I got those done. I did that. Look at this one. This has got a lot scratched off already as well. Got those done too. So what does that show me? I'm not useless. I'm not pathetic. I'm not good enough. I can get stuff done. I am good enough. Now I've got proof. When that voice comes up again and says, you haven't really done anything, have you? Yeah, yes, I have. Look, I've got this list of things I've checked off. Years ago, and not a lot of people know this because it's not necessarily a story that helps me in my life, and I don't think about it or dwell on it. But years ago, I was treated for depression. My doctor wanted to give me Prozac, which was the big thing then, and I had loads of friends who were taking it. I've never been someone who likes that approach. So I was sent to a therapist to do something called cognitive therapy. Now, I don't know what cognitive therapy actually really means, but I know what it does or what it is. And I had to write a list of things to do. And I had to check the things off every day. And they were things like get out of bed, brush my teeth, brush my hair, make a cup of tea, drink the tea. I'm telling you, these were the kind of things that most people were doing without even thinking about them, because they've become so automatic, which is where they are again now. But in those days, doing even those really, really basic things seemed like an achievement because I didn't feel like it. In fact, it was the last thing I felt like doing, was something for myself. If a friend had called and said, my kettle's blown up, can you make me a cup of tea? I would have taken pleasure in making a cup of tea. But here I was supposed to be making a cup of tea for myself. Myself, a unworthy, ineffective, useless loser who nobody loved. What was that? That was my viewpoint. That was my mindset about who I was. And there was only one way out of the hole. And the way that I was helped out of the hole was to start writing lists. Put the laundry in the washing machine. Take the laundry out of the washing machine. Now, gradually, as you see the amount of stuff you get done, it's incredible how much stuff somebody can get done in a day. Astounding. And it really does help you think, well, actually, you know what? If I can get that much stuff done, even if it's the same stuff everybody else is doing, I must have some value. Even if it's easy stuff to do, I'm doing it. I'm getting it done. You can't argue with that at all. And you know what then happens? You can do bigger things. You can actually wash your hair rather than just brush it. And you know what washing your hair means? It means you care about how you look. And when you care about how you look, you can go to the grocery store and actually talk to somebody. You can actually say, thank you, I really appreciate your help, to the girl at the checkout or the boy at the checkout. You can hold a door open for a neighbor and say, I hope you're having a lovely day, instead of just, meh. And what happens then? People start smiling at you. People start saying thank you. Now, that was all a very long time ago, and I'm very glad to report that I am over that. Although there are days when my mind says, are you sure you're as good as you think you are? Because I remember a time when you weren't. And it tries to take me back down there again. It tries really hard. And if I sat there and carried on allowing those thoughts, I don't know how quickly it would happen, but I do believe that it probably would or could happen. So there's one of those billion times a day when I have to make that choice. Am I going to let that mindset stop me? Or am I going to get stuff done? Right? It doesn't matter how simple it is. It doesn't matter if the thing you got done today was checking Facebook and responding to some messages or sending an email out. Your success doesn't have to be, I closed a $20,000 client. It doesn't have to be that. It will be one day if you start taking action. How do you close a $20,000 client? I don't know. You have some, well, I mean, I don't know how it is that you do it. Maybe it means that you have some sales calls. How do you get the sales calls? You send out some emails, or you invite someone to talk to you. If you want help figuring out a strategy, I know it might sound right now like I've got no clue, but what I mean is whatever it is that you're doing, figure it out. Do some of those. It's got to start somewhere with communicate with someone, right? You need to communicate with someone, and it can be a one to start off with. It doesn't have to be 1,000 people. It can be just one person. Really, it can. Communicate with someone, never mind how it feels. It doesn't matter your mindset. If you take action, you will succeed. It's a mathematical certainty that you will succeed. Do you hear me? It's a mathematical certainty that you will succeed. If you communicate with one person and then you communicate with another person, you've got twice as much chance. If you communicate with 2 people again the next day, that's 4 people. That's 4 times as much chance. The more people you communicate with, the more possibility you have of getting it right, of finding that client or those customers or that relationship or whatever it is that you're looking for. Don't let the words that are telling you how you feel stop what you're doing. Your thinking is one thing and your doing is completely different. So don't think, just do. Focus on what you need to do and do it. Do not think about how you feel. Do not allow yourself to feel. Now, my big ask for you today is trust me. Trust me and try this, because not only has it worked for me, but it's worked for millions of other people in the context of it being a therapy that helps handle depression. I'm putting it in inverted commas because this is my version of it. But the principle is the same. The principle is take action, do stuff. When you take action and do stuff, you are somebody. Even if it's just, I do, therefore I am busy. Eventually it'll become I do, therefore I am effective. Then it'll be I do, therefore I am successful. And now I have tons of clients, plenty of money, lots of influence, and fun. I enjoy my life. Okay? Today sounded a little bit like a sermon and it rang a little bit longer than I had intended, but this is so important. If you want to talk to me about it, email me, Andrea at phdandfollowup.com. Call or text me, 858-252-1190. Join the Facebook group. It's all about more loyal customers and referrals for busy business owners. You see, you get busy if you do stuff. If you need any kind of help, I'm here for you. Honestly, just pick up the phone, email me, or call me. You want some more background information on me? A couple of links to some interesting things I do? You can find them at phdandfollowup.com, Andrea Kuchin. One thing you pretty much know for sure is that next Tuesday, even though it's my daughter's 16th birthday, on the 16th of August, which means it's what they refer to as her golden birthday, she's 16 on the 16th, I'll be here. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but I'll be here. So there you are. I am so grateful you were here today. I hope you got some value. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye. Okay, what do I do now? I go here. I'm looking for my outro. It's here somewhere. Ooh, there it is. Bye, my friends. Bye-bye.